Good morning everyone, here from Guatemala once again. Unfortunately, this is gonna be our last video, our final stop here in Guatemala. We're actually on an island, the island of Flores, but it's very close to the mainland, so that's the mainland there. It's because we're in the middle of a lake, so it's not an island in the ocean. It's an island in the middle of the lake. Just cross this bridge, like 1 minute or something, and you're already on the mainland. And once again, it was a big mission to get here.
Yeah, I think it took us more than 8 hours.
9 hours.
Yeah, it was very tiring, especially because the terrain is kind of crazy. There are so many mountains all the time, and the drive was just very windy, but very beautiful at the same time because of the mountains. And yeah, very excited to explore this region of Guatemala.
Yeah, so Flores, we're very close to the Mexican border now, and Belize. We're right at the top of Guatemala. And we came here from San Miguel, so that was where the previous video was from, and that's like a beautiful waterfall place, also a place with many interesting caves, kind of sketchy caves, pitch black, but it was a lot of fun. And as Carol mentioned, the drive was really nice. We even went through some coffee plantations, which I don't think we had seen so far. And the island is very tiny. You can actually see it here. From what I read online, you can walk around it in 20 minutes. You can also get boat tours to other places on the mainland. You can swim. I think there's a place with a viewpoint, so we'll be doing that. I thought this sign said I love Flores, but it actually says Yo amo Petén. I think Petén is kind of like the region or state, and Flores is inside of that, the city. So just like when we were in Antigua, Flores is full of colourful buildings. However, in Antigua it was mainly like colonial buildings from the Spanish times. I'm not sure if all of these are colonial. They kind of look more new. Has like metal roofs too. Definitely different. Pretty sure there will be some colonial ones since the Spanish were here also. But once again, like so quiet. Just like we've been mentioning every video in Guatemala so far. So we noticed this last night. There's supposed to be like a walkway around the island, but all this side is flooded. I don't know if it's because of the rain this time of year, or I don't know if the island sunk a bit or something. I imagine it might just be the high water levels. The pier looks damaged there though. Yeah, and this car looks screwed in the water. Looks like it's been there for a while. But you can see this was also supposed to be kind of like access to some of the houses. A lot of the restaurants here as well, this was the access, but you can't go that way anymore. Gotta go from the street instead. Before we continue exploring Flores, we're going to talk about the sponsor of this video, Incogni, who now have a Black Friday deal. Incogni is a personal data removal service that removes personal information related to you from public websites and private databases.
There are companies called data brokers that specialize in collecting your personal information, such as your full name, your home address, and even financial information from different sources like your web searches or from data breaches on sites that you're signed up to. Data brokers will then sell all this data to other businesses and even to criminals.
An example of this is when you get spam calls, spam emails, or robot callers. If you've ever wondered how they got this private information, then this is one of the ways. Even last year I got a call from someone pretending to be my US bank, and they had some of my private information like my social security number.
However, you have the right to protect your privacy and request that data brokers remove the information that they hold about you. The problem is that if you were to do it manually, it will take you a long time, and that's where Ecognis steps in. They have an automated system which identifies where your data is being used, and they will send requests to have it removed. Even when new cases come up, they will automatically take care of it without you having to do anything.
They have a really user-friendly dashboard which shows you the removal requests, which ones are pending, and how many have been successful. Incogni offers you a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to use it. Click on the link in the video description below to get their Black Friday deal, and use our code JUMPINGPLACES, which gives you 60% off the Incogni annual plan. So I think it's mainly quiet because a lot of people that are visiting the island of Flores are coming to go to a big Mayan archaeological site that's nearby called Tikal, that a lot of people seem to think is even better than the archaeological sites that you can find in Mexico. So it should be a really nice way to end the trip.
Yeah, this was actually one of the things that I was most excited about before coming to Guatemala. I think this and the volcano. So the volcano was amazing, and I think the ruins were gonna be amazing too.
Yeah, so we're gonna be visiting that place in this video, but we're actually going like tomorrow, but we'll put it all in this video. Yeah, really loving the buildings here and the streets. Already got the Christmas tree up early. Yeah, it's really weird seeing it like this because there were so many people around here hanging out yesterday. Absolutely nobody now. So just like in Mexico, you get the squares that are like this. I've seen this in Guatemala before. Forgot what you call that in the middle. Kiosco. But in Mexico you get that in many places. I saw a picture of this. This is actually like a Mayan stone. Hard to see because of this plastic cover. The carvings. We'll be seeing much more of those anyway in this video. And then here we got the iglesia. Yeah, I think I'm gonna join Carol in the shade.
Like 5 minutes walking and I'm already dead.
Yeah, I think we are gonna have to jump into the lake. I also read that on this island of Flores was the last independent Mayan state to be conquered. I think it was around the late 1600s. Many of the other ones, I think, date into the 1500s. Had already been conquered, so this was the last place. So Carol found this place online, right on the waterfront. I think the viewpoint that we're going to later on is up there somewhere, pretty close. So this is called Big Fish. So this time we're both going for the fish. I got the pescado a la plancha, that's 85. Got a potato in there with cheese on top. Looks nice. Carol's dish looks better though.
Yeah, it's a whole tilapia, and I think it's from the lake.
Yeah, yours is cheaper too.
Yeah, 75.
Yeah, and more food. We can actually see some little fish in there. And I only just noticed that the border should be over there, but since it's like flooded, that's why it's coming up to here. The water's actually come up here a few times. But the guy that works here said that it's normal this time of the year, so it is just because of all the rain. But usually this should be where like cars can park and stuff. Can't tell at all. So the boat cost us 10 per person to come here. This place is called San Miguel. And I think we have to walk about 20 minutes to the viewpoint. Looks like another quiet village. Cool artwork, just like we've been seeing everywhere. Oh, check out the window pyramid. I think there are actually some ruins around here too. Some smaller ones. We've got our free guide here. Always a doggo guide. Come on, show us the way. Is it up there?
Yes. It shows like it's a street, but it's not really a street.
That is definitely not a street. So we were checking with some of the boat guys to take us here and also to the place where we can swim with the rope swing. But they were charging around $400, which I think is over $50. And you can come separately here just for 10, like we said, per person. So it seems better to just do it individually, I guess. Alright, there's a sign, Mirador. I thought we were on the wrong path. Just looked like we were going through some place where the locals live.
Yeah, maybe there's another way, but through the riverfront. But right now it's flooded, so we can't go.
Yeah, so we've been comparing this place to Mexico a few times, especially because of the similarities. But we've been to Mexico in the off season, and you definitely won't have places this empty over there ever, I don't think.
No.
Not the main touristic attractions.
Not the main tourist, yeah, no. And we've been to some pretty random places
In Mexico.
in Mexico, but
Still always people.
you always see people, locals, and obviously tourists as well.
Amigo. Amigo. Well, at least they're doing a good job as guard dogs.
Oh yeah.
I haven't got a stick.
Very scary.
So we're just walking up to the viewpoint now, and the guy at the entrance just said that this is actually a pyramid. So I think all this is part of a pyramid that they are going to excavate at some point. I think the majority of the Mayan and indigenous sites in Central America have not even been uncovered yet. They know of their existence, but yeah, they just need time to excavate them all.
Crazy to think that we are on the top of a pyramid.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one too.
Yeah.
I mean, it only took about 3-4 minutes to walk up, but yeah, the bottom is way down there. Bizarre. Now they got this thing on top of the pyramid. Nice, pretty good view. So that is the island there. You can see the whole thing now. Some of these are other islands too, small ones. So you can just see on top the church that we went to, on top of the hill. And now you can see the rest of the lake. It is a big lake, it stretches all the way down there. You can see some other villages there in the background too. More islands. Yeah, definitely worth coming up here. Alright, so we're now at the swimming place. It's called George's Rope Swing. It was $25 per person to come here. They have like some facilities over there with hammocks and stuff, toilets, and that's the rope swing.
25 to enter, but the taxi boat charged us 100
to come here.
Yeah, and we found out that it was supposed to be 50 in total. So yeah.
Yeah, he charged double. Yeah, so at the reception here, it says you can get the boat back. It'll just be 25 per person. There's also a diving board. I don't know how to dive properly, only jump. So we are here at Tikal. We ended up getting a shuttle in the morning. Very early start to the day because we got the 6 a.m. shuttle. We mainly got on that one because it's going to be super hot today. So we wanted to come earlier to walk around. And yeah, we had to wake up at like 5:30 a.m. but feeling pretty good. And that shuttle was 90 per person. And the entrance to here was 150 per person. Wow, look at this cool tree. Wow. Unusual one. We actually just saw a bunch of monkeys at the entrance. You're supposed to see lots of wildlife here, so yeah, that was cool. I don't even think I've seen a tree like that before.
No, not in Guatemala anyway.
So it is a pretty massive complex. Supposed to be one of the biggest Mayan complexes that you can visit. We're here, and yeah, I think we're gonna head that way to the center. That's where the majority of the things are. One thing to keep in mind is that you can only pay with cash here, not card. So some other people in our van run into trouble because they didn't bring money with them. They had to borrow money. And I think usually you'd be able to buy it online on their site. There is an option there to buy the ticket, but right now it's not working for international cards. Yeah, so basically the only option is just to pay in cash here. And we have about 4 hours. Like I said, it is a big complex. I don't even think that's enough to see everything, but yeah, we're going to be able to see a lot. So we're now at the Grand Square. Look at that epic pyramid. That's the main one, called Temple 1 from the 700s. That's a funerary temple. So I think they had like the tomb of one of the rulers at the time up there. I don't know if you can climb it. People are sat on the stairs. I know that you can climb some of them here. Maybe this one, it looks like there's a view deck.
Yeah, I think people climb that one and take pictures of this other one.
The main one.
Yeah. Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen anything like that at a ruin.
No.
It's like a giant head.
Yeah, it's really, really cool and so well preserved.
So this site was first settled around 900 BC and it lasted until around 900 AD. So a long time, almost 2,000 years. People were living around here until it was abandoned. Get a much nicer shot of the square from here. You can see people up there now, so we'll probably head up there next. And there's around 3,000 to 4,000 buildings here, so a lot to see. At its peak, around 100,000 people were living here, so it was really a big settlement, a big city. Cool how pretty much everything is open to explore. This part is the North Acropolis.
This is cool because it hasn't been fully excavated yet, so when you look at this part it's just like a mini mountain or hill, but there's a pyramid inside of it.
Yeah, I mean you can obviously tell because the top of it is out. Yeah, I wonder why they didn't excavate the whole thing. Maybe they want to show how it was found. I think this place was only really rediscovered in the 1800s, and it would have all been like that, completely overgrown. Although thinking about it now, even the ground that I'm on is a pyramid. This is a pyramid slope. Yeah, this is a cool viewpoint because you can see the tops of the other temples back there. I think the tallest one is over there. It's supposed to be over 60 meters. I think you can go up that as well, so might head there next. Even over there, another one. Yeah, already straight away you can see that people are right. It is one of the best Mayan complexes. Yeah,
it's really impressive. I remember one that we went in Palenque. It was a bit similar to this because it was also like overgrown.
The jungle.
Yeah, you have the jungle and the pyramids and the ruins. It's really nice.
Yeah, because we've also been to some others like Teotihuacan near Mexico City, and one called Mount Alban, I think, Monte Alban, that was in Oaxaca, but those were more dry. They're also different because they weren't Mayan. I think the one in Oaxaca was Zapotec, and Teotihuacan, I think they don't even know who founded it exactly, but I think they know that it wasn't Mayans. Get through?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is another Acropolis. So you basically have the Grand Plaza, the main square, and then an Acropolis on both sides. This one is called the Central Acropolis.
And I think there's even a South Acropolis, but it hasn't been excavated yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That sounds just people cutting the grass, by the way. So I think we've spent over an hour just walking around this main square, the main part, and going between the sites here within Tikal. It can take like 20-15 minutes walking. Man, we were talking about overgrown temples. Temple 3 is underneath all this. I don't even know if you can see the rocky top up there. What is it, a peacock?
Pavo. Yeah, peacock.
There's something else here. I just saw it moving. What is that?
Where?
Over there on the ground.
Oh, it's a cochilla.
Cochilla?
I think so.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, they weren't joking then. It really is good for wildlife here. Seems to be coming towards us. Palacio de las Ventanas, Window Palace. Wasn't planning on visiting this one, but might as well. Deep in the jungle. Definitely bring insect repellent because there's so many things biting us. There's something that when it bites, loads of blood's coming out. It's happening to Carol too. I think it's some sort of fly, not a mosquito. So this one's also 800 to 900s, known as Palace of the Bats. The window name comes from the presence of several windows throughout the structure, a rare architectural element in Mesoamerican cultures. I'm guessing that these are what they consider the windows. I suppose there's some bats in there as well, since it has that other nickname. Are these windows though? They kind of look like doors. I guess they're kind of windows, they're above the ground.
Every door is a window.
Yeah, I suppose so. Don't scratch. Alright, yeah, people have been scratching. I don't see any bats in here. Whenever I'm in these places, it always reminds me of that film, Apocalypto. I've seen that twice, directed by Mel Gibson. It was supposed to represent the different cultures and groups around this region. Really awesome film. Oh my god, look at the size of that spider. Oh, no way. Carol, didn't you read that some people actually get lost in here in Tikal?
Yeah, I think some tourists have gone missing. Some of them have never been found.
Seriously, never been found?
No, I think others were like found like 2 weeks later.
What the hell?
Yeah, so yeah, but we can see why. There was a little trail over there, but if you go, you can just get lost.
So we're now climbing to the top of the tallest temple that we mentioned before, 65 meters tall. Temple of the Two-Headed Snake. Pretty cool name. Wow, from up here you can see just how untouched this entire region is. So I think pretty much all of it is a protected area. So I don't think there's anyone really living around here or anything. Goes on for miles and miles. Basically all the way to the borders of Mexico and Belize, it's like that. And that's where we were before, somewhere around there. One of those tops.
Yeah, there's a hill there. I wonder if it's something.
A pyramid.
Not just a hill.
Yeah, it probably is. Isn't the people up there? There's something on there.
Yeah.
Wonder why it's called the Temple of the Two-Headed Snakes. Don't see any imagery or anything. So we've now come to the Lost World. That's what this section is called. So the temples here and pyramids are supposed to be a lot older. Templo Talud Tablero. Yeah, so look at that, it even says BC. 250 BC to 150 AD. So way older than the other ones. 22 meters high.
Yeah, it's funny because it says that it has this name because of the architectural style. So when it's like this, talud, and when it's like that, it's tablero.
Ah, yeah.
So, talud, tablero.
Yeah, it's still in pretty amazing shape though, being that old. Kind of looks similar to the other ones that we were seeing hundreds and hundreds of years later. Got another absolutely massive one here. Great Pyramid of the Lost World. Yeah, also around the same date, 250 BC, 150 AD. Yeah, so this is the viewpoint that Carol thought she could see from the last place, which was over there. Whew. And extra tired once again. So I was reading about why this place was abandoned around the 9th century, and apparently pretty much all of the complexes and cities around this part of the Mayan world were abandoned around that time. And there's multiple theories. Some say that it's because of the endemic warfare The Mayan cities were always at war with each other. And then other sources mention things like overpopulation. There was just too many people and not enough natural resources. And that's when places like Chichen Itza started flourishing. Because up north, I know around that area, there's actually natural water sources, right? You get like the cenotes, underground rivers, whereas from what I read around here, there is no natural water source. They had to collect the rainwater in man-made reservoirs, so wasn't ideal. And also I read that Maya is kind of more a modern name given to all the people in this entire region. So the places in Mexico, Yucatan, Campeche, Quintana Roo, Chiapas, and then Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras. It's kind of just a generic name for all of them, but it wasn't like a unified group altogether. So they were different. They have like different languages, different traditions and stuff. Yeah, and they did fight amongst themselves. I think like the Aztecs, I think that was an actual empire under a kind of single rule, but the Mayans were different. I think even in Lake Atitlan they spoke different languages, even on the same lake.
Yeah, like nowadays they do have different languages, and even around Guatemala I was reading, I think it's more than 20 different dialects.
So that will be the different Mayan groups.
Yeah, that differs from area to area.
Yeah, and I think they wear like different clothing and stuff, so yeah, they're not really like the same group. So this is definitely one of the biggest complexes we've ever been to. The Teotihuacan one was also very big. I don't know if this is bigger, but they've only excavated 30% of this. So we're only seeing like 30%. That's like completely insane. So it's way, way bigger than what we're thinking. I mean, all these hills here, they're all pyramids, temples. And it even reminds us of Angkor Wat in Cambodia, because it's all overgrown. We actually heard another tourist say that, but I was already thinking the exact same thing. We were about to just leave the Lost World part and realize there's a whole other section still. It's called the Seven Temples. I guess it's those there. And they even have the ball game that we've seen in other Mayan sites. Don't think I've seen that here yet. Yeah, so I think this is the ball game. We saw it in Chichen Itza, but it was uncovered. It wasn't like this. They'd have like a stone hole that they think they would kick a ball through. They don't know the exact rules. So if you guys have been to these like Mayan or indigenous sites, let us know which place was your favorite. This is definitely going to be one of ours. And there's just like nobody around, which is insane. This is like #1 attraction in Guatemala. You see pictures of it absolutely everywhere, and there's nobody really here. Like if you go to Chichen Itza and Teotihuacan and Coba, there's like thousands and thousands of people everywhere. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So I think these are those 7 temples. Pretty destroyed, the smaller ones, but that central one looks really cool. I could walk around places like this all day. So fascinating. So this is an example of one that hasn't been excavated yet. The South Acropolis. Wow, look at that structure. So I think we're actually on top of it now. So it begins down there somewhere and then yeah, it goes up there, different layers.
Sometimes we can hear the howler monkeys. They are around here. I think we heard them in the Amazon.
Yeah, I can hear it right now. You probably can't pick it up on the camera. It's over there somewhere. So we once camped in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil, and we were in like hammocks. We slept in hammocks outside, and those guys were howling all night, but like really strong howl. You can see that they're working on this one. It's the first big one that we've seen that's being worked on. So maybe in a couple of years you'll be able to walk to the top of there too. Wow, look at the stairs on this though. That's a beast. Yeah, that's one of the best ones here. We also saw that Star Wars was filmed here in Tikal, one of the scenes. I think it was one of the original Star Wars. This one is Temple 5. Between the 600s and 900s. A bit older again. 52 meters tall. The first great temple built in Tikal by the 22nd ruler of Tikal, Animal Skull. A cool name. So we're back on the island of Flores once again, and we come back to a bar on the waterfront for the sunset. We just realised that we should have probably gone to a bar kind of around the corner. I think the sun's going down there, but yeah, we're still getting some pretty nice colours anyway. So we're getting the happy hour offer. I got 3 gallos for 35. And yours is 2 mojitos for 30.
Yeah, good price.
Yeah.
Not very big, but still a good price.
I said gallo, but I think they say gallo. 2 L's.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice and sweet.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad because it's our last day in Guatemala, last sunset.
Yeah, we've like loved this country so much. I think I've loved that we've been like chilling on lakes and rivers so much.
Yeah, something different, especially because we've been on the beaches for like ocean beaches for so long, so it's nice to have this change. And it's just very beautiful everywhere that we've been here in Guatemala.
Yeah, everywhere has been awesome really. Cheers to Guatemala. So we're at the place that we've been staying now. Just been packing up since we have to leave early tomorrow. I think we've got to get up around 5 a.m. It's going to be an early day once again. Our flight's at 7:45 to El Salvador. And we ended up eating at one of the street food places here, which is at the park where we showed the church at the beginning of the video. And that was just 30 quetzales for 4 burritos. So in the majority of the videos we've been showing more like the touristy restaurants, places with nice views. But yeah, if you eat street food you can eat very affordably. And this room is also affordable. The cheapest place we've stayed in Guatemala so far, $33 a night. It's just one room pretty much. And it does have a kitchen to cook. We ended up not even cooking, we were just eating out all the time. This kind of looks like a microwave, this little TV. But it is a TV, there is no microwave here. Besides that, just a little desk, and the bathroom's not so bad either. So many of you sent us messages about how this place compares to Mexico. That's one of the reasons that we've been bringing it up in this video. And I would say overall it is a very similar vibe and experience. As we were mentioning, it's just way less touristy. This is probably how Mexico was maybe like 20-30 years ago. And we have made videos in Mexico before, and some people do complain sometimes saying that Mexico's become too touristy. So yeah, if you're one of those people but you still like Mexico, I think you should give Guatemala a try, because I think you're really going to enjoy it. It has a very similar history. Yeah, and just overall it does kind of seem like the same as the states of Oaxaca and Chiapas, which are two of our favorite states in Mexico. And even in the restaurants here, you have a lot of the same food that you get in Mexico. So like the burritos and tacos. Seems like their food is more vegetarian, I guess, like more vegetables, less fat, less greasy than what we've seen in Mexico. Seems to be that way from what we've eaten. And regarding the prices, I don't know if here is that much cheaper than Mexico. We haven't really traveled around Mexico in a long time properly, and I know people have been saying it's got more expensive recently, I think because the economy is doing quite well there and their currency. But from what the backpackers have been saying that we've spoken with, the prices seems to be kind of the same. So I don't think Guatemala is much cheaper. And also I don't think Guatemala really has those like Caribbean beaches like you'll find in Cancun, Cozumel, Isla Mujeres. There is a Caribbean coast here in Guatemala, but I don't think the beaches are like that. And then the other coast, the Pacific coast, I think it's more like volcanic beaches from what I've seen in the pictures. But the fact that everywhere that we've been has been just so laid back and untouched, we've just really loved it. And very curious to see how El Salvador is. I know that's a country that's been making some big changes, mainly due to the safety. So we'll be going over that in the next videos. We would have never considered going there a few years ago. It was like too dangerous, but now, yeah, it's supposed to be a lot better. And it's a country I don't know much about, so yeah, we're gonna see over the next week. If you like this one, just drop a like as usual to support us. Subscribe to see more videos like this. Follow us on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next one.